Most people think you need a gym with tens of different exercises to build strong, big arms. But there are men who have been locked in a prison with nothing for decades, and interestingly, they build arms so muscular and big that it makes gym bros jealous. That always made me wonder, what exactly were they doing in there? So I went and found out. What surprised me is that they mostly rely on these 3 tricep exercises, and the first one is the push-up to plank.
Is it a push-up or is it a plank?
I mean, technically it's both, because you're basically going from a push-up into a plank position, and the guy who was doing this in prison was Kali Muscle, and damn, he had some big arms. So I think he was doing something right. Now, the exercise looks super easy at first. The small details are what actually make this exercise hard and effective, so pay attention to this part carefully. So, start in a plank position, body straight, arms fully extended, and core tight. Now, press back up, place your right hand where your elbow was, that's important, and push. Then follow with the left. That is 1 rep. Like I said earlier, this looks ridiculously simple, right? But trust me, try it once, and your arms will immediately humble you. And that's exactly why most people underestimate it, because what this thing really builds are the triceps. And honestly, if you want bigger arms, the triceps are doing most of the work anyway. Your triceps make up around 2/3 of your upper arm. On the other hand, your biceps are only 1/3. So training the bigger muscle gives you bigger arms faster. The biceps get all the attention, but the triceps are basically carrying the team here, if that makes sense. Every single time you press from your forearms to full extension, all 3 heads of the tricep fire together, long, lateral, and medial. To build strong, powerful arms, you need to hit all of those. Now look, I'm not going to go super deep into all those heads right now. We will get to it through the video because this is very important and I want to explain it as simply as possible. So for now, just know their main job is extending your elbow, and this movement forces them to do exactly that over and over again. But here's where this becomes more than just another push-up variation. Imagine trying to push a heavy door open while balancing on 1 foot. Your arm is doing the pushing, sure, but your whole body has to stay tight and stable. That's basically what's happening here. Your triceps are working under tension while your core and shoulders are trying to keep everything locked in place at the same time. And honestly, that double demand is what makes this exercise way harder and way more effective than it first looks. One more important trick. At the top of every rep, fully extend and squeeze. This goes for every exercise you do. Just a little trick I learned through many years of working out.
But Baron, you said it hits the whole triceps, correct? And it looks like it doesn't really hit long triceps muscles. And this is a problem to build bigger arms.
Right, it hits all 3 heads, but it doesn't really smash the long head as much. And the long head is actually the biggest part of the tricep, which is exactly why the next exercise is honestly one of the best exercises for building bigger arms. It's called the prisoner resistance tricep extension. Now obviously prisoners didn't have fancy gym machines or barbells sitting around, but honestly they still found ways to get strong. Humans are weirdly creative when they're bored long enough. So prisoners would do this. They'd roll up a towel really tight or fill a bag with books, water bottles, basically anything heavy enough to make your arms feel the weight. Then, stand with your feet about shoulder width apart. After that, hold the loaded towel or bag overhead with both hands, arms fully extended. Your elbows should point straight up toward the ceiling and stay close to your head, and this part matters a lot. Don't let the elbows flare out like chicken wings. Now slowly lower the towel behind your head until your elbows hit around 90 degrees. Then drive the weight back up to full extension and squeeze hard at the top. And trust me, that squeeze at the top is important. That's the part most people rush through, even though that's where the triceps really get hammered.
But why is this exercise so good for my arms?
Like I said earlier, the triceps are actually the biggest part of your arms, but the long head is the biggest of the 3, and honestly, it's the one most people never fully train properly. Here's why. The long head connects up at the shoulder, so it only gets fully stretched when your arms go overhead. You can think of it like a rubber band. It only snaps back hard when you stretch it all the way first. Okay, maybe not the greatest example I've ever given, but you get the point. If you never train overhead, the long head will basically hardly grow. The biggest part of your tricep is just sitting there doing the bare minimum like that one guy in every group project. And that's why most pressing movements, push-ups, regular extensions, even the first exercise mainly hammer the lateral and medial heads, which is good, but the long head, most people barely hit it properly. Overhead movements are basically the only solution for it, and honestly, the reason prisoners got crazy results with this stuff wasn't genetics, it was volume. They just kept doing the work consistently, though honestly, one thing those prisoners definitely had was time. Like, man, when your schedule is just wake up, train, exist, you can rack up a crazy amount of volume. Now, I know you probably have responsibilities, work to do, and of course, watching my videos, so here's the simplest way to do this. Start with 2 to 3 sets of around 8 to 10 reps, and training it twice a week is more than enough in the beginning. Then, over time, just add more weight to the bag, more books, heavier objects, whatever works. That's your progression right there. Now we're done with the first 2 exercises, and the last exercise is honestly one of the simplest, but at the same time, one of the most effective for bigger arms. Now some prisoners didn't even have weights, towels, or bags, but what they did have was a bed and a bench. And trust me, they were obsessed with building bigger arms. Honestly, kind of like my subscribers being obsessed with getting stronger and more muscular. So here's what they did. They'd sit on the edge of a bed, bench, or any sturdy surface, shoulders down and back, chest upright. Then, place the hands beside the hips with the fingers pointing forward. After that, walk the feet out in front and lift the hips off the surface. Now slowly bend the elbows and lower yourself down until they hit around 90 degrees. Then press through the palms and come back up. Basically dips you can do at home without relying on an annoying bar. And yeah, slowly is probably the most boring word in that entire explanation, but honestly, it's also the most important part, so don't ignore it. As you get stronger, just place a heavy backpack or bag on your lap. That's literally the same progression prisoners used on metal bunks. Okay, Baron, this sounds all nice, but why exactly this one? So here's what most people don't realize. Tricep dips hit all 3 heads at the same time, lateral, long, and medial. Now to be fair, the earlier exercises were doing that too, but what really drives muscle growth here isn't just the weight, it's the tempo. It's like squeezing a sponge. If you squeeze it super fast and let go, nothing really happens. But squeeze it slowly and hold it, now it's fully compressed. Your triceps work the same way. Slow reps under tension create the signal your body needs to actually build muscle. And that's why prisoners doing slow dips on a metal bunk were still building real arms without fancy machines or weight plates. But again, you're not prisoners. I mean, hopefully. So train this exercise properly. Do around 10 to 15 reps per set and about 3 to 4 sets total. And remember this, train your triceps twice a week and leave at least 72 hours between sessions. That part really matters. Shout out to this comment. And if you are interested, you can sign up for my free newsletter. I love writing, so I do it in my free time and put some surprises in there as well because I really appreciate everyone who watches my videos. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.